This is part 3 of our lesson on rational exponents. So question number 1 here says, write each of the following as a radical. Evaluate if possible, and then state your final answers as fractions if necessary. So up first, I have 128 to the power of 1 over 7. In our investigation that we did in the previous part of the lesson, we said that the number in the exponent on the top is just a regular exponent. The number on the bottom of the exponent makes a root or a radical. A radical is just another word for a root. So 128 to the power of 1 over 7, that 7 is going to make a root. It's going to be the 7th root of 128 to the power of 1. Now, there is an alternative way to write that. I could say it is the 7th root of 128, and instead of putting the exponent next to the number under the root, I could write it as an exponent on the root. It doesn't really matter whether we do the root first or whether we do the exponent first. So either way, we will get the same answer, right? Whether I put the exponent on the inside or whether I put the exponent on the outside. Okay, so I wrote it as a radical, which is what they asked me to do, and then they said evaluate if possible. So on my calculator, to do a 7th root, I use my exponent button, but I use the second function of my exponent button. So on this type of calculator where I don't see what I type in, I would do 128 first. I would do to the power of 1. I get 128, and then I'm going to do the 7th root. So I'm going to go second, I'm going to press my exponent button, and then 7 equals, and I get an answer of 2. If I use my other calculator, I would do the 7 first. So I would put in 7, and then I would do second, my exponent button, and then 128 to the power of 1 equals. And I get 2. So I got 2 either way. Okay, we're going to try our next example. So this one is 1,331 to the power of 2/3. So the number on the top of the exponent is just a regular exponent. The number on the bottom makes a root. So this is going to be the 3rd root of 1,331, and then that is to the power of 2. Okay, it did ask me to evaluate, so this was the radical part, and then it wants me to evaluate if I can. So to evaluate, I'm going to take my calculator. So for this one, just need to slide my page over. I need to do the 3rd root of 1,331 squared. So I would do 1,331 squared first, and then second exponent 3, and I get an answer of 121. Now, I said it didn't matter whether we do the root first or the exponent first, so just to check, I could do the 3rd root of 1,331 first, so do the 3rd root of that first, and then square my answer, and you'll notice I get the exact same thing. Right? So it doesn't matter whether I do the root first and then I square, or whether I square first and then I do the root. On this calculator, I put the 3 in first, and then I do my exponent button, second exponent, 1,331 to the power of 2, and it gives me 121. Now, if I were to put a bracket in there, so 3, and then, so the third root of bracket 1,331 squared, and then close my bracket, I still get the same answer, right? So it doesn't really make a difference. Either way, 121. All right, we have one last example. This one has a fraction. So I have 1 over 59,049 to the power of 6 over 5. So the 6 on the top, regular exponent. The 5 on the bottom makes a root. So this is going to be the 5th root of 1 over 59,049, and then to the power of 6. Now, to do the power of 6, I need to either put a bracket around the fraction to the power of 6, or I need to put a bracket around the whole thing and then to the power of 6. So I had a bracket originally to show that it was on the numerator and the denominator, so you still need to have a bracket there. Okay. So on this calculator, I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts. One where I do the numerator and one where I do the denominator. So I have to do them as 2 separate calculations, right? So I can't just calculate the whole thing at once. So I'm going to make a little note. We're going to calculate top and bottom. Separately. Okay, so on the top, I'm going to do the 5th root of 1 to the power of 6. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 1 to the power of 6. And then I'm going to do the 5th root of that. So second exponent 5 equals, and I get 1. Then I'm going to do the 59,049. I'm going to do that to the power of 6. That's a big number. And then second exponent and 5. And I get 531,441. If I tried on my other calculator, I would do the same thing. I would do the 2 parts separately. Oops, I should switch sides. I would do the 5th root, so 5, second exponent, and then 1 to the power of 6, not divided by 6, oops. Just looking for my, there we go. And I got 1. And then if I try the bottom, if I do 5th root, so 5, second exponent, 59,049, and then to the power of 6, that equals 531,441. Okay, so I will see you in the next video to do the last 3 questions.